Hello and welcome to the Daily Forex Report for June 22nd. We are looking at the U.S.-Japanese yen pair. This pair closed higher, did pretty much moving sideways. We are looking for it to potentially go as high as 80.72, possibly as low as 79.62. Look for some resistance around 80.50 and look for some support around 79.95. Now the Euro-USD pair, it closed lower. We are looking for this pair to overall be moving sideways. We are looking for it to potentially go as high as 145.13, possibly as low as 142.30. Look for some resistance around 144.75 and look for some support around 143.00. Now the pound US dollar pair, this pair had a huge range today, moved to the downside. We are looking for it overall to be moving sideways. It closed 200 pips was its range. Didn't close below this low, so it's still, in my mind, moving sideways. Once we get a break, actually a close below that, we should be moving lower. Look for it to potentially go as high as 163.29, possibly as low as 158.99. Look for some resistance around 162.15 and look for some support around 160.25. Now the U.S. Swiss, this pair closed down. It's had a fairly small body considering its movement today. Came down to this area. I do believe we will break through it at some point in the near future and head lower. Look for it to potentially go as high as 184.75, possibly as low as 0.8287. Look for some resistance around 0.8425 and look for some support around 0.8325. Now, there are no news announcements going into this next session, no significant news announcements, I should say. So let's jump right in and take a look at what I'm looking for. The U.S.-Japanese yen pair has been consolidating down. You can see it pretty easily if you take a look here. It is consolidating down. I'm looking for it to break to the downside. I don't think that's any real surprise. We have a couple of areas that we could look for some resistance to come into the market, basically around the 79.54 mark and around the 78.85 mark. Looking to short somewhere around the 79.80 price. Now, let's take a look at the U.S. Swiss. Sorry, not the U.S. Swiss. The Australian U.S. dollar. This pair's just been tracking sideways for a good while, as you can see here. It is, you can draw a trend line from way back down here at the lows. You can also draw a trend line here pretty much in line there. It's consolidating down and has been. I am looking for a potential breakout. Not sure which direction yet. I think if it breaks out to the downside, we could get down to the 10433 level fairly easily. If it breaks to the upside, I do believe we'll hit the 1.0720 mark. So somewhere in there, I am looking for it. Basically, that'd grab about 46 pips to the upside. To the downside, grabbing about 100 pips. On all these trades, typically I use a risk to reward of 1 to 1. The way I identify these is through support and resistance. Support being where the price comes down to a point or to a area of price and then moves higher and doesn't go any further to the downside. And resistance being an area like here where we have all these different points where previous sessions have come up to and maybe even gone past but pulled back before the close. This would be an area of resistance where it's gone higher and then has moved back and hasn't gone any higher from that point. Hope that helps. And until next time, this is Jason Fielder. Good trading.